trains, planes, cars. Today, we are going to learn about all of the different vehicles we use and the prepositions and questions we use with them. All right, let's go. Today's lesson is going to be on transportation. We are going to talk about all of the different vehicles we use when we travel. We are also going to practice a very common question, and we're going to practice prepositions that go with these vehicles. First, let's go over our questions. Today, we are going to practice two questions, but they have the same meaning. So in today's question, we are going to practice a how question. So I want to know how someone or how you go somewhere. Maybe you go to work. So how? Is it car? Is it train? Is it a plane? Is it a bicycle? So I want to ask how. How are you going there? So in this type of question, we will ask, how do you go to, and then the location. So one more time, how do you go to plus location. Another question we could say, it's the same meaning, but we change the verb. So another question is, how do you get to plus location? How do you get to plus location? For me, I like this question. I think this is very common in Canadian and American English. So how do you get to, then location. So if we follow the question pattern, I want you to use how, and then we're going to have do, so plus do. Then my subject can be you, they, we, I, plus get to, then plus a location. Or if our subject changes, it will be how plus does plus he, she, it plus get to, then location. So let's look at an example question. How do you get to work? How do you get to work? I want to know the means. I want to know the type of vehicle that you are using. To answer this question, we have two types of answers. So one, we are going to use a vehicle, a tool, a machine. In that situation, please use the word by plus the vehicle. By plus a vehicle. Now, I've said the word vehicle many times in this lesson, and maybe some of you don't understand this word. This is a very difficult vocabulary word. So a vehicle is any type, any kind of machine that takes people to a location. So it's any type, any kind of transport machine. So for example, a car is a vehicle. A bus is a vehicle. An airplane is a vehicle. So any machine where it takes people somewhere, we call that a vehicle. So if I ask you, how do you get to work? Then If you want to tell me the machine, the vehicle, then please say by plus vehicle. So let's do that question one more time. How do you get to work? Then, if you get to work by car, my answer is by car. If it's train, my answer is by train. If it's a bus, then you can say by bus. That's a very short answer. That's a very short answer. If I want a long answer, my answer is I get to work by car. I get to work by train. I get to work by bus. Okay, so some of you don't take a bus, or you don't use a car, you don't use a train. Maybe you live very near your work and you are going to walk. In this situation, we don't use the word by. Okay, we are going to say on foot. Okay, not feet. Of course, we have 2 feet, but in English, in this situation, we say on foot. So, how do you get to work? On foot. Okay, that's a short answer. If I want a long answer, I will say, how do you get to work? I get to work on foot. If we are using a body part, we always say on plus the body part. So here, on foot. Okay, so do you understand that so far? So we've practiced a how question, and then we've practiced by plus a vehicle or on foot. If you don't understand this question or how to answer it, just rewatch the explanation. Or you can ask me any question down below. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Subscribing is completely free, and these lessons will definitely help your English. Okay, next, let's go over some vocabulary. Let's practice some vocabulary for all of the different vehicles that we use. So just to remember, a vehicle is any machine that moves people from one location to another. We use it for transportation. Now, with all of our vehicles, we usually use 2 prepositions to talk about those vehicles. We can use on or in. On or in. Now, there is a very easy way to understand which preposition should I use. So should I use on or should I use in? The easiest way to understand this is if the vehicle is very, very big, we usually use on. If the vehicle is smaller, we will use in. So for example, a very big vehicle, a bus, we would say on a bus. But maybe a car is smaller, so we'd say in a car. Now, another way we can separate on and in is if I can stand in the vehicle and if I can walk in the vehicle, then please use on. But if I only sit, then it's usually in. Okay? Also, with in, it must be inside an enclosed area. So there is a cover on the vehicle. So within there's a cover. Okay, next, I will put some pictures on the screen. All of these pictures are pictures of vehicles. So we will practice a lot of new vocabulary. After we study the vocabulary, please tell me, do I use on or in with the vehicle? For example, if we look up here, we have a car. This is a car. So do I use on or in? This situation, we are going to use in a car. Okay, so next, you try all of these. So let's look up here. What is this picture? This is a truck. On or in? In a truck. So a truck is a smaller vehicle. I cannot stand and walk in this vehicle, and it's covered, so it's in a truck. Next, look up here. We have a bus. Do I use on or in? On a bus. So it's a big vehicle. I can stand, I can walk on a bus. Next, let's look. Train. A train. Do we use on or in? All right. On a train. Very good. It's the same as a bus. I can stand and I can walk, and it's very big. Okay, next we have another type of train. This is a subway. The difference between a train and a subway is underground. A subway goes underground. A train is usually above ground. So with a subway, it's the same as train. So we use which one? On or in? On a subway. Next, if you look up here, we've got a tram. A tram is also another kind of train. But a tram, this will share the road with other vehicles. So for example, maybe it will be on the road where the cars are running. So the rail is the same height as the road. A train is only using rails that a train can go. A car cannot go there. The rail is a little bit high. So the tram, the rails are the same as the road. Do we use on or in? Okay, it's the same as the train, so it's on a tram. Next, if you look up here, what do we call this? This is called a monorail. Okay, a monorail is another type of train, but there's only one rail. So this is called a monorail. Monorails, I know in Canada, in Vancouver, they are up high. They're up high and they're above the roads. Monorail is a train, so we say on a monorail. Next, let's look up here. What do you see? This is an airplane. Do we use on or in? On an airplane. It's a very big vehicle. We can stand and we can walk. Next, if you look up here, we have a ship. We have a ship. And with a ship, do we use on or in? On a ship. On a ship. Next, let's look up here again. What do you see? What is this called? This is a ferry. A ferry. Do I use on or in? All right, so it's the same as a ship. On a ferry. On a ferry. The next one, let's look at this. I like this one. It's very unique. This is called a sea bus. A sea bus. So it is a bus on the sea. I know Vancouver has a sea bus. Many cities where you can go on the sea. It's like a bus, but on the sea. We call that a sea bus. Do I use on or in? On a sea bus. On a sea bus. Okay, let's look up here. What do we see? A boat. A boat. So, what do I say? On or in? This one is in a boat. In a boat. A boat is much smaller. I can't stand and walk in a boat. So it's in a boat. Next, let's look up here. What do you see? A motorcycle. A motorcycle. Do I use on or in? Here, on a motorcycle. So I know a motorcycle is small, but a motorcycle doesn't have a roof. There's no cover. So we cannot be in the motorcycle. So it's always on the motorcycle. And last, we have bicycle. Bicycle. So it's the same as a motorcycle. Do we use on or in? On a bicycle. On a bicycle. Okay, so we learned a lot of vocabulary words, a lot of different vehicles. Of course, there are more, but these are the most common vehicles that we use in English. If you are not sure about any of these vehicles, if you have any questions, please ask me down below. Okay, so that brings us to the active part of the lesson. This is a chance for you to use today's vocabulary and today's prepositions. So during this section, I want you to try and speak at home. I am going to show you a picture, and I am going to ask you one of two questions. So I have two question types. I will ask you one. In this question, I asked you, where is she? Okay, so that's one type of question. Now, let's look at another example. So let's look at the screen, and we have a car, we have a man. So my question is, what is he doing? What is he doing? Now, your answer is going to be, he is riding. He is riding. Then you can choose in or on plus a vehicle. So for example, in this picture here, he is riding in a car. He is riding in a car. Okay, so now it's your turn. I will put up 5 pictures. You must make 5 sentences. Number 1, look at the screen. And my question is, where are they? Where are they? Please tell me the location. Where are they? They are on a train. They are on a train. So a train is a big vehicle. We can stand and we can walk. They are on a train. All right, number 2, please look at the picture. My question is, what are you doing? What are you doing? So your answer is going to be, I am writing. I am writing. And then please tell me the rest of the sentence. So look at the picture. What are you doing? Okay, my answer. I'm riding on a ferry. I'm riding on a ferry. Number 3, please look at the photo. What is she doing? What is she doing? All right, she is riding in a taxi. She is riding in a taxi. Number 4, please look at the photo. Where are you? Where are you? So make sure your subject is I. Please begin the sentence with I for this answer. Okay, so here my answer is I am on an airplane. I am on an airplane. And number 5. Number 5, please look at the photo. Where is he? Where is he? All right, my answer. He is in a boat. He is in a boat. So remember, a boat is small. We cannot stand and walk. So we say in a boat. So he is in a boat. Okay, so how did you do? Could you make 5 sentences using in or on? Did you use the correct preposition? If it was difficult, if you made a mistake, that's okay. Just rewatch the video. Or also, you can ask me any question down below. Also, if you think this lesson was useful, please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. I'm always posting videos, so make sure you check out all of my new videos and all of the other ones I have already posted. So, until the next lesson, see ya. Thank you very much for watching today's lesson. Today we talked all about vehicles. We talked about cars, planes, trains, and we practice on or in. If you think this lesson was useful, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Until the next lesson, see ya.